Welcome back to the Acer TeamStory Cup, ladies and gentlemen, and for everybody who's a little bit confused why exactly there's currently a tie on the scoreboard with a 1-1, let me just clarify just real quick. After we finished the last game where JaeDong took down Has, the admins informed us that indeed Evil Genius got a death loss because they showed up too late to today's match. They didn't, as stated in the rules, send in the first player 5 minutes before the tournament started. Didn't announce it, there was no contact person, and therefore Evil Genius lost 1 point already. It doesn't affect JaeDong, he can still play, there's no problem with him playing. It's just like that Joey FlashWolves, they got a bit of an advantage here, a bit of a head start, so the current score is indeed a 1-1. We will therefore start to call this game number 3 so that there is no confusion about the score going into the next few matches, just as a quick side note for you. Starting to the bottom left, we have a Protoss player for Joey FlashWolves. Once again, this time it is not Has, no, it is indeed San. It is the Korean player starting here for the Taiwanese team. And we are on Overgrowth, map number 3. Starting to the top right, we currently have JaeDong, who won 1 match already today against the Protoss player. Took down Has, who had a very, let's just say, very creative build that he used against JaeDong. Built 4 cannons to apparently try and contain the ZerG player, which didn't really work for him. He delayed his tech immensely, and in the end JaeDong didn't really have any problems shutting the Protoss player down. Whatever Has tried to pull off, it didn't work out, and JaeDong just looked at the game and was like, alright, I guess I get a free win here. It was a bit of a donation, and JaeDong was a willing participant. So we have in this particular game now gas taken. The spawning pool started this time after the hatch was put into play. And all the way at the bottom left, we see for San a probe moving out and apparently eager to get some scouting information to see what exactly is going on to the top right, if there is gas taken, and what JaeDong's opening into this game is. It's going to be a very different Protoss versus ZerG from what we've seen in the game where JaeDong played versus Has. That much is already certain. San, of course, a very, very strong opponent, a great Protoss player, and definitely someone who has shown against ZerG absolutely incredible builds in the past. He has very good unit control and great micro. One of the main reasons why he's so successful. When he was playing in the Acer's RG tournament, for example, in the last year, he was able to take down every single ZerG player that he went up against. The builds, not necessarily builds that surprised the ZerG players, but just the execution was so crisp and clean that it was very difficult to find the weakness in them to exploit. So JaeDong is now up against this Protoss monster and has to try to take him down somehow. It's one of the heavy hitters that we have for the Joey FlashWolves. eOnZerG, of course, another strong player in the lineup. Usually they rely on Has, Ian, San, eOnZerG, and if they need another player, if they need a 5th, they are experimenting a little bit. They still have a couple of additional players in there. Very nice development here already. JaeDong is taking the gold expansion of his opponent. Well, I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to say about this entire series so far here at the Acer TeamStory Cup, but the developments are very interesting. JaeDong assumes that this base is going to be scouted very late by the Protoss player, that San will have no reason to send a probe over here to scout this. This base, on the other hand, if he would have taken his own gold expansion, San is bound to at some point send a drone in and just see what exactly is going on. I mean, you can already see the probe right now moving in and trying to have a quick look. But the base over here is, of course, a little bit of a gamble, but that might very well work out. Even if he just gets a few of his harvesters in and can mine the gold mineral patches for a minute or two, this is going to work out in his favor. This is going to pay off thanks to the minerals that he's going to get then. So it's a bit of a gamble, and, well, we are going to find out if he really is able to make it work, if that's gonna pay out for him. Zerglings trying to rush in, and the force field, of course, started. The Lings in the end just there to attack a little bit, but as you can already see, we have a warp in with a warp in pylon all the way at the front here at the debris. The mothership core is part of this as well. The base is completed, and we see the Queen start, and is probably going to start with his own drones very soon. Doesn't send any drones cross map. There's always the danger that the Protoss player will see the drone slide and then of course know that there's another base somewhere. Here come the Zerglings already having a quick poke, and the mothership core actually confirming that there is no 3rd base just yet. So he's just trying to make sure that he knows what's happening here. Oh, nice surround on those zealots. Really well done. The warp in for San is immediate, but we have at least 3 of the zealots, 2 of the zealots taken out. The 3rd one very low. and he's starting to mine. He's starting with the inject, he's starting to mine from his third base, and this is income that is slowly building up for JaeDong that San doesn't know about. San will play this game under completely wrong assumptions, and that is always super dangerous. The tag for San is going to be the Stargate, and right now what he thinks is happening here is he thinks that with his pressure that we already have here, with his potential to move in, JaeDong is a little bit reluctant to build a third base. We have the tag in the main base going straight into lair, and also Roach One and Evolution Chamber started, whereas this is really starting to pay off. The Queen is just moving in again for another inject. We have also at the same time the second Queen if he needs to defend against something, and don't be fooled, there's 300 minerals that he needs for this with all those drones that he already has there. This is really starting to pay off very, very fast. He's also spreading creep, and that shows that he is not really reluctant to show this base at this point. He knows that at some point he is gonna lose it, but everything is going to be warped in here at the top. There's not a lot of units that are just going to walk cross map. The Zealots are already on their way back, and looks like the Phoenix, at least for now, knows what's going on. He saw the base. I'm pretty sure that the base already paid off, so I would be very surprised if that's not the case. The Zealots, by the way, are not moving in just yet. They've seen the creep. I think they're now starting to walk over here, but at this point, yeah, he has the army ready and can now move to the top. Did he not see on the minimap that there's actually creep? Did he not see that yet? I don't believe that for a second that he has no idea, but he didn't send anything else over. And maybe the settings that he has don't allow him to really see creep on the minimap. Maybe, I mean, that would be a very weird explanation, but there's only so many things that I can currently come up with why he didn't send anything in. Now he's starting to move over there. No, he doesn't. He has a probe there, but this base is already completely mining, and San never even tried to take the harvesters down. Never even confirmed that there's a base. I think he really must have missed the creep there, or just assumed that the creep spread of JaeDong is already reaching this far, which is not the case. So a little bit surprising to me, but as it happens, San is not going up against the third base of JaeDong, and we have JaeDong starting to move in here. The harvest account for the Zerg player, 55 against 51. The income, as you can see, is currently... Oh, why is that not working? There we go. It's currently heavily in his favor. 2,000 against 1,300. So that's already looking really good for JaeDong. And against the Void Rays, I mean, he has of course started his take. Like, he hasn't won the game or anything, but he has very solid economy behind this. Would like to see him take another third base all the way back at home, because I'm not quite sure if he will always be able to defend this base over here. It's still quite a little bit exposed and very close to the Protoss play. If San at any point in the game gets a force into the mix that he can just send up a little bit, just one screen up, he will have a very good showing there. Once again, the Queens as the anti-air against Mothership Core and also Void Rays. The Void Ray is actually wrecking those roaches, but the army that is moving here in for JaeDong is still pretty strong. 51 army supply against 48. We have the Spire being built, and Mutalisks are very, very dangerous against what we currently see for San here. There's not a whole lot that he can do against this, especially the speed of the Mutalisk is going to be a big, big problem for him. Could also just try and get a couple of Corruptors in there to help out the ground army, but for now, it's just another base all the way to the top, with the pylon already being built here to the top left, so that we can see additional Zealot warp-ins by San, just trying to sneak them past into the mineral line at the third base. Spire's about to be completed, and JaeDong has quite a lot of minerals. He's lacking in the gas a little bit, but that's not very surprising considering that he's taking quite a lot of minerals off here at the gold base. The double extractor is nearly completed. He's moving in again against this army of San. San is very, very hard pressed here by his opponent, and the Queens are trying to take down the first of the Void Rays. The ground army, on the other hand, is already annihilated. Void Ray number 1 able to escape, and resources lost. 5,000 for JaeDong, only 2,000 for San. We have a few DTs now moving in, and there's not a whole lot of detection that JaeDong has. He's starting with the Overseers immediately. In the main base, we have another Dark Templar trying to take down a few Harvesters. Harvesters lost so far, 5 already. 9 Mutalisks are being built. Even with this base over there, we have another DT taking down the Harvester count, and JaeDong is suddenly in a lot of trouble. He lost a lot of resources already earlier when he was just throwing his army against this position, but at the same time now, we have San completely blindsiding his opponent. 2 Dark Templars have been killed, but 25 drones, 26 have already been annihilated. There's another one, 28. The Harvester count at this point is 23 against 59. San is moving in to take down this base right over here. This is not going to survive. I'm not quite sure where the units are walking right now. Maybe just double checking that there's not another hidden base at the bottom right. But yeah, the next, the hatch at the gold expansion is taken out, and here the main base of the natural is now being assailed by JaeDong, but with force fields he might even trap another set of roaches. Not quite happening just yet. The fail field here at the end just putting, I guess, a stop to the aggression of JaeDong finally, and marking that, but nothing else has happened here so far. So 8,400 resources lost against 3,800, and JaeDong just playing a little bit too wasteful there when he was trying to cancel the third base of his opponent. He still has a decent account of Mutalisks in the game, 10 of those, but he cannot really make them work because we have the Stalkers there. So far without the Blink upgrade, but with 2 additional Stargates already built, we will see a lot of Phoenixes very soon to deal with the Mutalisks, since San knows that he's in a great position already. If you look at the army supply at this point, we have 74 against 52, 64 Harvesters against 39, both of them on 3 bases, but the third up here is not saturated, and the Zealots are already starting to take down the hatch, bringing it all the way down to the red. And this is very... oh, there are even DTs. Yes, the DT here is going to put a stop to base number 3. And now JaeDong in a really, really awkward position. JaeDong is falling apart here a little bit. Now the Mutalisks are also endangered, since we have quite the count of Phoenixes in the match. 3 are being built at a time, and JaeDong is just starting to run out of luck again. It looks like the Acer TeamStory Cup is not really his home turf. He is about to lose another game. He will be 1-4 if he indeed loses this match now. He's currently down to 70 army supply, but it's the economy that is really absolutely horrible for him. He doesn't have the income, and that's a big problem since he can't rebuild his army. GG being called. San a little bit too strong for the Dong. We have a 2-1 lead for the Joey FlashWolves against Evil Genius.